Hey, this is Ashley Purdy from Black Veil Brides, and you're on the road with us on the Black Mass Tour, and you're here with AP Magazine. Ashley Purdy before Black Veil Brides. Growing up in the Midwest as well, as Andy, I think that we all are from the Midwest except for Cece. But when you grow up in that sort of environment, everything you see on TV or media at the time is from California or New York. But for the most part, California, and the music that we liked, whether it's art, entertainment, acting. I mean, I did everything. I acted, modeled, played sports, played music, did all that kind of stuff. So everything I knew growing up as a kid was to go to California. That was it. That was my dream. Like, that's all I knew. Never been to California until I moved there when I was 18. So moved there when I was 18. I didn't know the difference between San Francisco or LA. Just never been there before, because in Missouri, where I'm from, you can just drive everywhere. So went to San Francisco, slept, like kind of squatted in these student dorms for a bit by myself. And then I eventually enrolled into the Academy of Art College, which that kind of get my grounding to figure out stuff. Got just retail jobs, whatever, started acting, doing stuff. And then through that time, I spent a year and a half there until I figured out where Los Angeles was and Hollywood, where I needed to be. So during that time in San Francisco, I was at the Academy of Art College, got an acting and modeling agent. Through that way, I was able to transfer the acting and modeling agent to LA, transferred schools to Otis College of Art and Design as well. So then I moved to LA, and then that's when I figured out Hollywood, where all the bands were at, and music culture and stuff. And there were still remnants of like the 80s and 90s scene there. So I started forming bands right away, and it was always with older dudes who were still like remnants of that era and scene and stuff. I couldn't find no one who looked like I did, or played like I did, or wanted to make a band like I did. And this happens with a lot of you kids out there trying to form bands. It's really difficult to find the right kind of players that you want to find, whether it's look or showmanship and all that kind of stuff, which matters. So it took me a long time to do that. And I was always either making people dress up the way I wanted them to, or if I find a really good player, I'd make him dress up the part, or if I found a guy who looked really cool, he couldn't play that well. So it was always a struggle, and I always had like mishmash bands. My first band that I have is called Orgasm when I first went to LA, because I was like, where's the excess? Where's the debauchery? Where does all of this exist again? I met Ralph from Steel Panther now. It was a metal shop at the time, and we became good friends, and he was in a tribute band called Atomic Punks, and this is way before Steel Panther became huge. So the tribute scene was really big at the time because there was no original projects that were going on in the Hollywood scene. So he was like, man, there's not a really good like Motley Crue tribute band who's doing it like to the T of, Shout at the Devil or something. So I eventually made Children of the Beast, which is a Motley Crue Shout at the Devil era tribute band, which is like studied every stitch, stud, staging, built everything, made all the costumes, built all the staging, and then took that on tour. And I was able to tour and meet a lot of people that way. So then I went back and formed a band called Stolen Hearts, which is more like a Guns N' Roses, dirty, stripped down rock and roll band. But again, just, I guess, inner personalities, we just didn't meld and just didn't work or whatever. So when that split up, I was looking for my next project and then put ads all over looking for players for my new project. And I was always a front person at the time. I had never played bass before. I only played bass in the Motley Crue tribute band. So I was always a front person. And so through that, then putting out ads, I was looking to steal players. I saw Andy's ad. I think they had an ad out or something at the time. And I was like, who's this band who lists all these similar influences as me? So met up with him, but I was actually looking to steal players from there to put in my band, But when we got along really well, because again, a lot of it's about personality and finding a common ground. Now me knowing what I knew, I've already been in 3 bands previous to Black Veil Brides, just about how that synergy sort of works. So when I met him, I was like, okay, well, he's a good front person. I like him and what he's doing right now. And they already had Knives and Pens just came out, and they hired, whoever just to stand in and play the parts for that. So I was like, I think I could do this. And at the time, I was playing with LA Guns at the time. I had like auditioned LA Guns, and they needed a bass player at the time. So I was like, oh, this would be a cool gig for me. Whatever, I'll play bass in LA Guns or whatever. So at the time, it was like LA Guns or this thing Andy Biersack has. I don't know. But eventually, I liked the name. He wanted to change the name at the time. I remember that. He's like, oh, I've had this project. I was a kid for so long. I had this name and all these players and all this stuff, and I never got it going. I go, I think the name's really cool, man. We should keep the name. So because I just graduated college as well, so I have a marketing degree and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, we should keep the name. So I redrew the logos, did all that kind of stuff. and then we started working on the project. From there, I mean, we've been involved in every aspect of this band because we cared so much. So go back to your original question, from the production to the image to just how we're perceived, because it matters. Coming from a marketing standpoint, everything you do, like I said, the name evokes something. It matters. Kids out there, you're forming a band, have a cool name, have a cool logo, have something that is identifiable with your groups or your peers, someone who wants to, when you're a kid, you want to carve the logo in your school desk or write it on your notebook or something. If you can't do that, I don't think you really have a good shot at even a good band, no matter how well you can play, because if you don't have a marketing ability, then you're not going to have a good band. All those things matter, and all those things were taken into account with us. I mean, we spent endless nights together. In the beginning days, just at my apartment or whatever, just going over how we're going to look, how we're going to be perceived, where we want to go, and all those aspects. So and how we want each member to be identified, because we want every member to be cared about in this group as like Kiss is. You can identify with each member, and it becomes a greater whole for the group, as one. So yeah, all that kind of stuff. Hey, what's up? This is actually Purdy from Black Veil Brides. It's been a pleasure sitting and talking with AP Magazine. We have issue 317 coming out soon, and you can actually buy it on tour. We're selling it at our merch table on the Black Mass Tour, which we're on now. And come see us and buy the magazine, and we'll sign it for you after the show. And we love you.